Hello everyone, and welcome back to another review. Last time, I experienced the power of JoJo, and I want to share its power with all of you. Because it's Halloween, we should talk about things with vampires. And JoJo has vampires, so today, we're going to be looking at JoJo's Bizarre... Bree, I need it for the review. Aww. No, it just doesn't feel right without having huge, rippling muscles. Yeah, that sounds good. I got just the thing that we can watch for Halloween this year. We trade one meme-generating anime for another. Ghost Stories is notorious for its English dub, but to have an authentic experience, I'll be giving a play-by-play of the original Japanese version. I just don't think that it's worth doing my standard review style for the English dub, because I believe that comedy is meant to be experienced, not talked about, and I'll elaborate more later on. Our first scene starts with a guy walking the halls of an abandoned school building, and he gets attacked by an unseen ghost. We then get the opening title sequence, and one thing that I should make note of is that one prominent theme during the OP is swimming. The characters are shown in swimsuits for a decent chunk of the sequence, but this scene doesn't happen anywhere in the rest of the anime. Sorry for the premature spoilers. Now, getting on to the actual episode itself. We start with the family moving into a new house. This is our main character, Satsuki, and her younger brother, Keiichiro. Once they arrive, they meet Hajime Aoma, their next-door neighbor and soon-to-be classmate. One recurring theme of this character is that he's a bit of a pervert. The next day, Satsuki and Keiichiro are dropped off at the school, but Keiichiro brought along their pet cat, Kaya. The cat jumps out of Keiichiro's backpack and runs off. They chase him to the old abandoned schoolhouse, and they're being watched by a girl with purple hair. Once inside, they're jump-scared by Hajime and his friend, Leo Kakenoki. He claims to be the resident psychic researcher, and the boys insist that the old schoolhouse is haunted. As they explore, they come across a statue wearing Momoko's hat. When they retrieve it, this happens. Hajime wants to leave the schoolhouse, but they still haven't found Kaya yet. They hear a cat meowing down one of the hallways and investigate. They find Kaya cornered by a dog. I know it's supposed to be scary, but with this animation and coloring, it just looks silly. Hello, Moni Myrtle. This is where our team gets bombarded with ghosts of a very wide variety. We get a headless biker, Fester Adams with a sheet stuck on his head, and a tiny red genie. The poltergeist continues around them, and the red genie gets a bit bigger. It then reveals its true form and starts chasing them around the school. They hole up in the old principal's office, and they find their cat with a portrait of their mother. Momoko recognizes her as they met in a hospital in Tokyo last year. Again, what's supposed to come off as intimidating just looks silly. The ghost looks like he just won a game of hide and seek. Fortunately for them, the page also gives a list of instructions on how to defeat the ghost. The kids find chalk and a Bunsen burner, then draw a magic circle and chant the spell. Once the ghost is gone, they notice that the diary has their mother's name on it. Once they return to the new school, they find that it's time to go home, even though they only spent about 30 minutes in the old schoolhouse. Ah, so he's actually ex-deaf. But without the tree, Amano Jaku needs another place to jump to. That's right, the spooky ghost is now inside the cat.
Well, that's f***ing weird.
Bree?
What? Hey, what the...
You actually have a voice now?
I guess so. Yeah.
Why the sudden potty mouth?
I can't help it. Whatever changed my voice is making me do this.
You're not possessed by a ghost, are you?
No, because if I was, there'd be a lot more spooky shit happening right now.
We can worry about this later. Let's just get back to the review. Amano Jaku, of course, vows revenge. The next episode starts with a construction site. They bulldoze over a well that was in the way, and then the foreman gets attacked by a ghost hiding in the toilet.
Talk about a shitty situation.
As Satsuki heads to school, Jaku uses what little ghost powers he has left to make her trip. Leo and Hajime approach, saying that this action confirmed one of Leo's theories. Jaku's powers seem to be very limited now. And of course, when he tripped her, Hajime caught a glimpse of Satsuki's upskirt.
Appropriately, she gives him a black eye.
Satsuki and Momoko read up on the diary, trying to figure out how to get Amano Jaku out of the cat. According to the diary, Satsuki's mother put multiple ghosts to sleep, and if their sleeping place is disturbed, like the tree getting cut down, it will reawaken. Additionally, if they don't decide where to re-imprison the ghost first, it will jump into the nearest sentient being, and it won't leave until all of the other ghosts are put back to sleep.
They just needed a way to drag out the plot and keep the cat relevant.
Suddenly, all of the water spouts in the school erupt, and the school staff decides that the only restrooms that can be used are the ones in the old haunted schoolhouse.
Brilliant idea! Have even more of your staff go missing.
Right on cue, the teacher who delivered the message gets attacked by a ghost in the toilet. Satsuki and Hajime head to the haunted house, but Leo is caught by the principal and sent back to class. The pair is approached by another ghost that is possessing one of those anatomy models that show you where the various organs are.
And its hand is a thing from the Addams family.
The bathroom ghost, Hanako, appears at the fourth door. Makes sense, since one of the Japanese words for four is shi, which can also mean death.
Purple is hella sus.
Hanako appears before them, warning them not to go into the restroom, as a voice asks if it wants them red paper or blue paper, and then the toilet starts pulling Hajime into it. Jaku Jaku tells us that the ghost's name is Akagami Agami, and his questions of red or blue lead to it raining blood or turning blue from getting strangled. The diary says that the way to defeat the ghost is to draw a Shinto shrine gate on a jar, put water in it, and say, "I'll be borrowing your restroom." However, they have no way to get water since all the plumbing is broken.
Oh, you gotta be f***ing kidding me.
Yeah, that's some major BS right there. Those 2 or 3 teardrops worked, and the ghost returns to spiritual sleep.
That's pretty funny though.
The next episode starts up, and Hajime is sitting on some steps with one of his classmates, Keita. He's nervous about being the lead role for an upcoming school play, and asks Hajime to take over for him. Hajime refuses, and Keita says that maybe if the gymnasium catches on fire, the play will be cancelled. And then suddenly, lightning strikes the gym, and it catches fire.
Can this kid use his psychic powers to tell us if 2020 is gonna get any worse?
There's now a huge hole in the gym, and Leo laments, having made his own costume for the play, as he was assigned to be the understudy. The principal decides to hold the play in the old school's auditorium instead.
These people are just plain stupid. They know the old school ground is haunted, so why do they keep going back there?
Because we need a plot. Keita and Hajime are back at the stairs, and Keita is still nervous. Just thinking out loud, he says that if he's somehow hospitalized, they'll have to use the understudy.
He may as well have gone and played on the interstate during rush hour because at rehearsal, a basketball hoop falls on him.
Because both of Keita's predictions came true, Hajime deduces that the stairs must be cursed. To test this hypothesis, the gang all wish for various things, and Leo wishes to be the lead role in the play. The next day, the teacher said that Keita was still too injured to perform, so Leo did indeed get the part. However, the other kids' wishes didn't come true. Later, Hajime is worried because one of the lines in the play is, "break my neck and die." So he's paranoid that just because Leo will say it, it'll happen.
And just like the last leading man, an accident during a rehearsal almost kills him.
The support beam Leo was being suspended from breaks, and he lands on a mattress, but the broken beam still almost stabs him when it falls. And then, lightning strikes a tree outside. However, Leo still isn't convinced that he's been cursed, and says that it's all just a coincidence.
Typical big-name actors, even supernatural events don't scare them off.
When the night of the play arrives, Satsuki keeps Jaku Jaku in the cat carrier to keep him out of mischief, because they think that he's behind everything, and Leo mentions that he can't find one of his props, a device that makes blood drip from his fingertips. But when the play starts, blood actually starts coming from his fingertips, and Hajime has the prop with him. Leo now starts to realize that he might actually be cursed. The demon cat convinces Keiichiro to let him out of the cage, much to Satsuki's dismay.
Did Momoko's voice change?
Yeah, and so did yours.
What? Again? Man, this show is messing with me. The kids look in the diary and they find who they believe to be the culprit. A ghost named Kutabe.
As the play continues, everything that Leo says starts coming true. Satsuki's dad is in the audience with a family photo, and the mom starts glowing. Reading the diary further, they discover that the ghost was sealed away in a statue next to the 4th step on those stairs. Again, with a super subtle number 4. The ghost has the power to bend reality based on spoken words, but you have to be on the 4th step for it to take effect. They go back to the mountainside and find that the stairs have been removed, as well as a broken statue. Using some super glue that Hajime was carrying, they put the statue's head back on, but are running out of time to save Leo. Jaku Jaku appears again and is teasing them.
あのお芝居のセリフをすべてご存知？
ここにいるお化けも全て消滅だ！何？そんなセリフがあるのか？
The demon cat agrees to help, and they discover that it didn't have to be the specific stairs by the mountain, so they decide to use the stairs that are on stage. And Momoko's eyes stop glowing, and her voice returns to normal.
なんだかママみたいだった。
They make it just in time to save Leo by putting the statue on the fourth stair and chanting the spell. You're telling me. The curse is lifted and Leo doesn't die, but he thinks that all the supernatural stuff was just his skill as an actor. Our next episode starts at the old abandoned schoolhouse, focusing on a haunted piano. Then, Hajime opens a window and a gust of air blows up Satsuki's skirt. She chases him and they both get stopped by a teacher in the hallway. As punishment for running, the teacher was going to have them carry boxes for her, but Hajime takes off when she's not looking. Satsuki takes the boxes to the music room of the old schoolhouse and hears a piano playing on its own. But when she tries to play the keys herself, there's no sound.
あと3回。
They consult the ghost diary, but to their dismay, there's nothing about the piano ghost in the book. So as a precaution, Satsuki simply decides to not go near the old schoolhouse so she won't hear the piano again.
はい、宮下ですけど。あの曲。
No matter how hard she tries to hang up, the song keeps on playing.
We're no strangers to love. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling.
Okay, now the prank is going too far.
Hi, Georgie.
あと2回。
That's 2 times she's heard it start to finish. Just 2 more and she's dead. So the solution? Earplugs. Leo gives some to Satsuki and she braces herself for the night. Satsuki gets a phone call that she thinks is from Hajime, but it turns out to be the ghost, luring her into a trap. Now I'm getting Mario 64 flashbacks.
どうして？なんで聞こえるのよ。
Yeah, but why? Besides just the reason of it's a ghost. I think they could have done something a little more creative here. Simply saying, my powers always work, sounds like that they made the piano into a poorly written, overpowered OC. Oh, now I get it. It wants her to help it recreate the 1,000 Miles music video.
And I need you. And I miss you.
I guess the piano went back to Hogwarts. And Hajime trips on the box that Satsuki left in the hallway. They bum rush the piano, but it has an invisible force field and they can't hit it.
あのピアノは違う。
Momoko tells them that the real ghost is actually inside the painting and they need to find a metronome. But wait a second, if the piano wasn't really possessed and it was the ghost the whole time, then how was it following Satsuki around the city?
Yeah. Also, a ghost in a painting? Looks like we've gone from Mario 64 to Luigi's Mansion.
The ghost shows itself and starts playing. Momoko starts the metronome and that sucks the ghost in. No magic spell, no drawing on it, no talisman, just the metronome on its own.
Well, that's just the power of music for you.
ゲームオーバーよ。
Satsuki passes out from exhaustion, and again, Momoko has no memory of what just happened. Budget? Since when do we have a budget? We start our next episode with Satsuki tripping and the boys trying to take a picture of her upskirt. But, joke's on them, she was actually wearing shorts under the skirt. Keitaro comes in crying because he was told to finish his lunch?
Randy, will you eat? There are starving people in China.
Okay. So, to improve his image, the others suggest that Keitaro participates in the school sports festival. Yes. Prove your worth to your peers with your athletic ability. I do not miss those days. The next day, when the PE teacher is trying to get everything set up for the festival, suddenly everything inside the storage shed starts attacking everyone. You see, this is why you should never play sports. Video games are much safer. So suddenly they're all soccer mom Karens. We don't care who's in danger as long as our little boy gets to show off. He's been practicing so hard. To actually do something useful, Satsuki looks up the ghost in the diary and finds an entry for Dado, the ghost of the sports festival. We then cut to Keiichiro talking to the ghost.
昔友達がいたんだ。天の川小学校に。走りたかったんだ。彼は。あれ、お兄ちゃん？
Again, overusing the number 4. We get it, it's bad luck. But fortunately, the festival was only scheduled to run until about 3 p.m. But of course, hijinks are going to ensue. It starts raining and everything gets delayed. Hey, this was your idea. You have no one to blame but yourself. The rain then stops and everything resumes. They estimate only a 30-minute delay, so the festival will end right at 3:30. The gang then spots the ghost going into the storage shed and they follow him. Right as Keiichiro's race is about to start, the doors to the shed slam shut and locks them inside. That has to be the lamest technicality I've ever heard. So, Dado turns into this demon with a scythe and goes after Keiichiro's feet. Not sure why they didn't use the sickle that was being focused on during the haunting earlier in the episode. Talk about misdirection. As Keiichiro nears the 4th corner, the ghost runner shows up and blocks the scythe? Lame. Next episode, the Scooby-Doo rejects hear a rumor about a ghost that attacks children when they're alone at night. It also just so happens that everyone's parents are not going to be home that evening, so to counter this, they split up and hang out that night. Momoko with Satsuki, Keiichiro with Hajime, and Leo by himself. And Hajime just leaves Keiichiro alone at his place to go hang out with the girls. While Momoko goes to the store, Leo runs for Satsuki's house, being chased by the Grim Reaper from Castlevania 4. They pass each other on the road, but Momoko doesn't see anything. When the attack stops, they consult the ghost diary. The ghost's name is Babasare, and they get rid of it by chanting "Old Hag Begone" 3 times. But the problem is that the shrine that they used to seal the ghost away last time was torn down due to the construction, so they have to find a new vessel to seal it away in. Satsuki's not a very responsible big sister. They go grab Keiichiro and retreat back home. Jaku tells them that the only reason it's coming after them is because they fear ghosts, and adults can't see it because adults aren't afraid of such fairy tales. Satsuki's dad arrives home and Momoko is with him. Apparently, she's not scared of ghosts, so she couldn't see Babasare either. The next episode opens with someone patrolling the old schoolhouse late at night.
なんだ、鏡か。
そうだよ。
Leo reports the incident at school the next day and gives everyone the spooks. He returns home, finding his mom playing his PlayStation, except there's nothing on the screen but static. When they arrive, nobody answers the door, but Leo and his mom are watching through the peephole. The next day at school, Satsuki is using a small compact mirror and Leo is hanging out with different people than normal. He approaches Keiichiro in the restroom along with all the other people who just so happen to be wearing glasses. I agree, this is actually a pretty creepy concept. I don't think that Polnareff will be able to help with this one. Satsuki comes home and finds her little brother doing the exact same thing Leo's mom was, and now he's wearing glasses. Correction, he has no eyes and is wearing dollar store gag glasses. Same for their dad. Fortunately for her, Hajime shows up in time to save her. They run into the nearest police station to report the incident, but the cop inside is an imposter too. And so is half of the rest of the town, apparently. With nowhere to go, Hajime and Satsuki barricade themselves inside the old schoolhouse. They happen upon Leo in there, and he tells them about the ghost of the mirror, known as Utsushimi. Hajime then notices that the printing on the back of Leo's jacket is inverted, and realizes that he's a ghost from the mirror world as well. demon cat shows up with a ghost diary to give the kids a fighting chance. Not out of the goodness of his heart, but because without humans, who would feed him? The way to beat the mirror ghost is to point a mirror at a bigger mirror. So of course, they use the compact that Satsuki was looking at earlier in the episode, and that creates the barrier needed to dispel the ghosts. Hey, a computer lab episode. Wow, those monitors are ancient. Anyways, Leo, being the stereotypical nerd of the group, knows a lot about computers. He's showing Satsuki how to do the basics, like using a scanner. Leo immediately states that it's because of a cyber ghost. Better call megaman.exe for some virus busting. Leo says that the ghost could have come from YomiNet, a homepage belonging to a ghost that lets you communicate with the spirit world, Yomi being the name of the land of the dead from Shinto mythology. So basically, this is like the beta version of the username 666 creepypasta. The next day, the gang goes out to get lunch after school while Leo stays behind in the computer lab trying to find YomiNet. When he's about to give up, suddenly the page appears before him. Predictably, it turns out that Leo has been sucked into the computer world. While he and the others are at the same location, from Leo's perspective there's nobody around. This is a good concept, but they did the reveal too soon in my opinion. Someone dressed in a shrine robe walks past, and Leo follows her. He suddenly finds himself out in a field, no longer in the city. The gang calls his phone, and he figures out what happened as the world starts crumbling around him. The Scooby-Don'ts make their way back to the school's computer lab, and can see Leo on the computer screen. The shrine girl from earlier turns into a demon and chases him. They check the diary and find a page on how to defeat the demon hag, as well as a talisman. They use the scanner, send the talisman to Leo, and he manages to return to the real world. Hey everybody, sorry to do this, but this video is going to have to be a two-parter. I didn't actually realize how long this script was until I almost got done recording. So to get this done in time for Halloween, this is where part 1 is going to end, and we'll have to pick up with part 2 in the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and have a safe and happy Halloween. Peace out. 夕暮れの彼方から蜃気楼